Hi, I'm Lee from Outback Fencing, and here we have our slat louver screen fence. Stick around and we'll show you how to install it. So this is what comes with a standard slat panel, which is your standard flat slats and also your louvered slats. It comes with two C-channel posts which are long enough to go into the ground. It comes with the top and bottom rail. It comes with your retainers and some screws, and obviously your slats, and that's it. Okay, so what you want to do first to position out your fence. So what we've done here, we've put a peg at either end, and we've run a string line going from one end to the other, which we've leveled. Now that string line we've set at the bottom for the bottom of your fence, which is going to be your bottom rail of your fence. And if you don't know what a bottom rail is, you'll find out soon. So that string line now is nice and parallel with the driveway, and it's also level. So the next thing that we need to do is to position where we need to dig our holes for our posts. Okay, so what you want to do now is set out the width of your panels for the positioning of your holes. So what you want to grab yourself is the rail. You want to grab two rails, and as you can see, what I've done here is this is where I want to start my fence. So what you can do is put that first rail down and mark it either on the string line or on the ground with a bit of paint or a texture, or even just mark the dirt. Then what you want to do is get your second rail and lay this down next to it. And what you want to do there is give yourself about a 5 to 10 mil gap spacing between the two rails. And basically what you do then, if you've got a long run, you just keep doing that for however long it is. If it's 50 metres, this is exactly what you do. But today we're only doing two panels. So you lay them out like that, mark the positioning of your holes, and then you start digging. Okay, so we've gone along and we've dug down the holes, which for us was 3 holes. If you want, it's probably the easiest way to do it is get a double-handed shovel. And we'll go down like that and get all that dirt. It's quite easy to dig. Now you want to make sure that these holes are about 150 to 200 mil wide and 600 mil deep. Okay, that's really what you want for a 1.8 high fence. If you're doing a higher fence, you want to go a bit deeper. So we'll put these aside. Now what we've done is we've laid out the posts, as you can see. So we've got a C-channel post for either end, which is just a single post. And for our intermediate post, what we want to do is screw them together. So what you do, if you want to come in a bit closer there, Owen, and have a good look at this, you get the C-channel post like that, and you lay this one on top like that, and you get it real nice and flush at the top. Then what you need to do is get yourself a tech gun and some of the tech screws which are provided, and then what you want to do is put one at the top to the side of the post. We'll have a look at that in a minute, what all the screws look like. I'm going to put one here at the bottom. Now when you're screwing it together, you really want to make sure that the posts are all nice and flush on all the edges. So I'm going to go ahead and screw this off. Put a few screws in there. So if you have a look at that, we've got 2 there at the top, 1 in the middle, another 2 there, and another 1 at the bottom. So that's pretty much how you screw an intermediate post together. And then we're just going to lay that on its side. So what we want to do now as well, to make it real easy, because we've put the string line at the level of the bottom rail, if you've got an 1800 high fence, what you want to do is get this post, get your tape measure out, and mark this down at 1800. Just with a pen or a bit of a black texture, nothing too big because you don't want it to stay there forever. So then when you go to post this over here in the hole, basically use that black mark to the level string line. And if you post all your posts like that, you get a nice level fence. So what we're going to do next is we're going to concrete these posts in, which is pretty much the hardest part of the job. Once we get all of that set, the rest just goes in very easy. Alright, so we're ready to concrete our first post. Just remember, we've marked it at 1800 with a little bit of a texture. That way when we post it, the post goes down to the string line. So what I'm going to do first is we'll post this. Now I've already got a little bit of water in the hole. Now what I'm going to do, slide this down. Now I'm going to check it for level before I go any further down. It's pretty good where it is. I might just try and shift that over a bit if I can. So just basically, just give it a light jiggle. Test that. Alright, so this post now is set down to that texture onto the string line, and I've leveled that, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Now you don't have to concrete this exactly the way that I've done it, and you don't have to use rapid set either. It's probably not advised to use rapid set if this is your first time. I would probably even suggest maybe putting the post in first and holding it and getting a friend to pour the concrete in for you, just so you make sure that the post is exactly where it needs to be on the string line, and also level and everything like that. So yeah, so that's pretty much for that one. So, yeah. Alright, so we've got our first post in. Now we're going to put our intermediate post in. Now what you want to do is get your rail, which is your spacer, and you're going to lay this down next to the post. So you're going to lay that down next to the post. Now what we're going to do when we concrete this in, you want to allow yourself a 5 to 10 mil gap when you're putting this intermediate post in, so you've got a little bit of a play with the rail when we put that in later. So what we're going to do is put a bit of water in. Pouring our concrete. Remember, you've got your mark on the post. And what I like to do is sort of hold the post up here like this and let the weight level itself. And get it roughly in position and just let that fall down into place. Now this needs to move over a little bit. Get that all nice and level with the string line, and also your mark. And that's pretty much it. Okay, so now it's time to put in our bottom rail. All the posts have been concreted in and have had time to dry, and they're nice and solid. So what you do is you grab yourself a rail, one of these hexagon looking things. Get it in the end, you just need to squeeze the rail to put it inside the post, and then you just drop this one in like that and give it a bit of a squeeze, and that will just slide straight down to where it needs to be. Now what you want to do is put the bottom of the rail to the texture mark that we had put earlier on the post. You do that at both ends, which I'm going to do now. Now that way you know that that bottom rail is nice and level. So then what you want to do is get your gun with a few Tek screws, and you just put one in on this side, like so, one at this end. Now you want to go ahead and do that on the other side as well, and for the next panels and the other panels that you have. And that's pretty much it. So then what you want to do, as I always like to keep this handy, is that you put the rail just on the outer edge of the post where you're going to do your work, and it just sort of stays up there. And it's quite handy when you put the sheets in or your slats, you got it there and you can just put it straight on top. So we're ready now to do some sheeting and do some slats, and yeah, we'll do that next. Okay, so with the slat louver fence, what you'll get is a left hand and a right hand slat retainer. So however you want the slat to look, basically you put the left hand one at one end and the right hand at the other, which we've done here at this end already. So I'm just going to make sure that that's the right one. So yeah, you just basically slot that in from the top and just slide that down. Then grab a slat, which we've prepared earlier, and just slot that in at the bottom. And then that's pretty much it. So then you get your next one, make sure it looks right, slide that in, get the other one over here, slide that one in, get your next slat, pop that in, and that's it. And you just keep doing that till you get to the top. Okay, so put all the slat louver slats in, and basically at the end you just put in your top rail, which is the same as your bottom rail, and you just whack that in at the top, finish it off, get that nice and right, and then just get your tech screws, put a couple of screws on the top at either side, and that's it.